Hello dear listener, please subscribe to our channel. Enjoy watching. There's a line, a thin line, between love and hate. One moment you're holding your wife in your arms, feeling the warmth of her body pressed against yours, thinking that your life is perfect. The next, you find yourself standing on the edge of a precipice, questioning everything you've ever known about the person who shares your bed, your life. And I crossed that line. And I did it for a reason. I never expected it to happen. Not to me, not in my life. Sure, everyone talks about cheating, infidelity, it's one of those things that seems like it happens to other people. The statistics are out there. But you think that somehow, you're immune. Your wife loves you. She's loyal. You have the house, the car, the life that everyone envies. The family. The perfect suburban dream. But then one day, everything comes crashing down. I was standing in the kitchen when I first saw it. The phone was on the counter, unlocked. I wasn't snooping, mind you, I'd never been that guy. But there it was, that message. The notification popped up, a text from an unknown number. At first, I thought it was spam. But then I saw her name attached to it. I miss you, baby. Can't wait to see you tonight. I froze. There was no mistaking what that meant. I knew that phrase. That tone. That intimacy. It was a code I wasn't part of. Grace, my wife, was having an affair. I didn't confront her right away. No, I wasn't that stupid. That's what she expected. She wanted the fight. The confrontation. The drama. But I wasn't going to give her that satisfaction. I wanted to watch her. Study her. Let her hang herself with her own lies. I watched her for days. Her every move. She had become too comfortable, too careless. It was almost as if she was daring me to catch her. But I wasn't just going to catch her. No, I had something far more inventive planned. I started with small, subtle moves. I began to disappear more. I took up late nights at the office, meetings that didn't exist, projects that weren't on my schedule. I let her think I was distracted. She didn't know what I knew, not yet. And every time I left the house, I could see the flicker of relief in her eyes. It was as if she thought I was letting her go. But in reality, I was only setting the stage. I had learned enough about the man she was seeing. His name was Michael. A colleague of hers. A younger, more ambitious version of me. The kind of guy who thought he could have everything. I was just another obstacle for him, something to be overcome. But what he didn't know was that I was about to turn his life into a nightmare. I started getting close to him, pretending to be the understanding husband. I told him I was aware of the affair. He didn't even bat an eye. In fact, he seemed almost pleased. He thought I was a fool, a cuckold. He assumed I was going to beg for mercy, that I would apologize for letting her slip away. But he had no idea who he was dealing with. I played along for a while, fed him lies, made him think he was winning. I let him grow more confident. I even started offering him business opportunities, feeding him little crumbs of information that made him feel like he was getting closer to something bigger, closer to Grace. I knew exactly what he wanted. But what he didn't know was that I had something far more satisfying planned. The day I confronted Grace was the day I knew I had her. I walked in the door after another long day at the office, to find her sitting at the kitchen table, her face flushed, her eyes wide. She didn't even need to say anything. I could smell the guilt in the air. "You think I don't know, Grace?" I said, my voice quiet but steady. She paled, her hand instinctively reaching for the phone. But I had already seen it, her messages to Michael, their plans, their dreams. "I'm leaving you," she said, her voice trembling. "It's over." "You're not leaving me," I interrupted. "Not yet. I saw the confusion on her face. She wasn't expecting this. She thought I'd beg. She thought I'd cry. But I wasn't going to give her that. No, I wasn't weak. I had learned how to play this game, and now I was going to make her regret everything she'd done. I spent the next few weeks slowly pulling the strings. I started distancing myself from her, becoming colder, more distant. I didn't care about the house anymore. I didn't care about anything she thought she had. I watched her crumble, bit by bit. She didn't know what was happening, but she could feel it. She could feel the walls closing in. Meanwhile, I was carefully orchestrating Michael's downfall. I planted a few well-placed rumors about his professional conduct, fabricated evidence that made it look like he was stealing from the company, and started feeding it to the right people. By the time I was done, his career was in ruins. But I didn't stop there. I made sure Grace would know. I let her believe that Michael had abandoned her, that he was a fraud, a liar. I even set up a fake meeting where she would walk in on him getting arrested for embezzlement. The look on her face when she saw him handcuffed, dragged away in front of her, was the first time I felt something like satisfaction in months. It wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about making her feel everything. The fear. The confusion. The shame. I wanted her to feel the weight of her betrayal, to understand that nothing would ever be the same again. But that's the thing about revenge, it never goes exactly the way you plan. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I had won. But the truth always finds a way to surface. One night, a month after everything had fallen apart, I came home late to find Grace sitting in the dark. She didn't move when I entered the room. She just stared at me, her eyes cold, distant. "I know," she said, her voice flat. "You know what?" I asked, though I already knew. "I know it was you. You did all of this." I froze. How could she know? "I saw the texts," she continued, her eyes hardening. "You thought you could play me, didn't you? You thought you were the clever one. But I saw through it. I saw everything. The rumors you planted. The way you manipulated Michael into thinking he was being watched. The business deals that led nowhere. I didn't say anything. I didn't have to. I could feel my world tilting again. "I've been playing you too," she said softly, a cruel smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "While you were busy plotting your revenge, I was making my own plans. I knew exactly what you were doing. I was waiting for you to make your move." She stood up, moving closer to me. "But you underestimated one thing. You didn't think I would come back for you. But I did. And now I'm taking everything." My blood ran cold. The woman I had trusted, the woman I thought was crushed beneath my plans, was playing me all along. "Grace," I said, my voice trembling. "You can't." But it was too late. She had already set the wheels in motion. Michael was no longer just a lover. He was her partner in crime, and they had been working together all along, waiting for the perfect moment to turn the tables. And just like that, I was the one who lost everything. Grace, Michael, the house, it was all slipping away from me. Except there was one thing she didn't know, I had one final card to play. As she moved to leave, I pulled out a file I had hidden in the back of the drawer. Evidence. Proof of her betrayal, of her plotting. I had kept everything, every email, every phone call, every lie. "I'm not done yet," I whispered. And for the first time in weeks, I smiled. She had no idea who she was really messing with. If you leave a comment, tell us what you think about the story you heard. It's important to us and will help us find and tell stories that you find interesting. Thank you for watching us.